Hey everyone, welcome to our amazing AI session focused on the education space. Excited to introduce myself. I'm Moshe. I'm from our account executive team here at Atera. And I'll let Avi introduce himself.
Hey guys, I'm Avi. I'm the head of IT here in Atera. I'm the IT manager for the last year in Atera. That's mostly it. Go for it, Moshe.
Amazing. Well, before we get started, I would love to hear from everybody in the chat how the sessions are going so far. Is there a specific session that you guys enjoyed? I'll let the chat, get to it. As well, I want this to be hands-on. So if you wanted to put questions in the Q&A, Avi and I will be watching it as well. We have some moderators as well looking into the question. So again, as we go through specific examples here, again, focused on education space, both in the K through 12 and higher ed, we will make sure to get those answered while we go along, as well as at the end, we'll save some time for additional Q&A as well. So again, really great to meet you all and excited to show you through it. Again, our main goal today is to show you how we can customize the AI within Atera to fit your specific needs within the education space. So you'll find this workspace is going to show a lot of innovative AI use cases. Again, AI is a different animal. It's another breed. So it's malleable, it's dynamic, and we're excited to show you how we can, fit it in and make it your AI universe. So the first thing I wanted to say, again, going to be interactive, so please make sure to ask questions as we go along. For those of you who are already customers of Atera, we're going to show you how we can supercharge what the classic Atera, the all-in-one RMM and ticketing side of things. And then anybody who's new to Atera, we'll show you what the present and future is going to look like, and hopefully bring you the best possible all-in-one solution to your schools. So today, we're going to focus mostly on the Copilot side, which is going to help on the technicians day-to-day. We'll also quickly touch on our AI assistant, our Autopilot. This is going to give the power to your end users to be able to self-help and get answers immediately. But again, today's main focus will be Copilot. Any additional questions, you can definitely email your account manager or the sales team in general, and we could do a deeper dive on both the Copilot and Autopilot as well. So cool. Just to kick things off, I'm going to kick it off to Avi. Avi, I know you've been a big user of ChatGPT even before Atera, and now using the Copilot as well as Autopilot in your day-to-day. So Avi, you want to give a little bit of an example of how it kind of differs, having that all-in-one versus using something that is, jumping around the different systems?
Yeah, of course. So the main event, like the main difference between the two systems, between using AI internally in your IT system, is that it's in full context. When you go into ChatGPT, you'll need to do like a very exact prompt. You need to do like a very specific and very niche, and to know what to write to get exactly what you want. And in Atera, you get it in full context, full context of devices, of users. It's also integrated to other systems, and you were able to do like actions, and it's all very intuitive. It's all very in one place. It's a one-stop shop, and you don't have to go through tabs and copy paste. And I got an error, so I'm using the error to try and fix it and stuff like that you usually do with ChatGPT. Here's everything in one place, and you already have the prompt written because you have the context, and that's the important part.
Amazing. And I saw there was a chat there from someone from our team. So any questions you have or the chat you want to add, please put them in the Q&A, because the chat is combined with all the different sessions. So anything specific here to the education track, make sure to put it there. But Avi, thanks for that answer. Really helpful. And again, we're going to now demonstrate how we can take that with our different use cases and again, bring that all-in-one into place. So what I'm going to do is I'll share my screen and we'll walk through some of those examples. We'll also talk through additional specific examples again on the education side, where we can make the student and teachers' lives much easier and make sure that your infrastructure can be kept up to speed and make sure everything is running perfectly. Again, what I hear from my customers all the time from education is that the ratios are usually a lot bigger than a classic IT department. You're looking after way more people and way more devices than the average technician. So we're going to show you how we can streamline a lot of that here within Atera. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is share my screen here. And again, we'll walk through some of those examples, and we'll talk through additional examples as well. So Avi, you can see my screen now?
Yeah, sure. Sure thing.
So just to look at the examples, the first one we're going to talk about now is the AI OID generator. And I'll let Avi talk through it more. But what I hear all the time from my customers is that finding the OIDs and setting up the alerts on those SNMP devices, whether they're printers in the library or switches and firewalls, is a big pain in the neck. A lot of times you don't even want to get it done. Well, what we've done here is built out an AI tool that will help extract those OIDs for you. So again, I'm going to share that example with you now. We did pre-record these just to make it streamlined as we are live. But again, all this is available and live within the platform for you guys to test out yourselves. But without further ado, I will play the video here. So in this case, right, just to show you for an example, we have the library printer here. Again, finding those OIDs is a big pain in the neck. So what we've done is built up the AI OID generator. We're going to look here for setting up an alert for specifically toner levels. So you can see here, it's now brought that in. We've now created it. From there, we're now going to add the monitored OIDs for the actual levels. So you can see we've added in the exact toner level that we're going to want. We're then going to add that in. And you can see here, we've now set up another alert here for paper level as well. But what we've done is we've taken that, 30-minute, 40-minute, hours time of doing that research and finding those OIDs to getting it to you within a minute or two and getting that set up within your instance. So you can make sure that there's no issues with, the printing that needs to happen for the students that have tests that are going on, or, any issues that teachers might have. All of that will be solved directly here. So Avi, I know in your work, as the head of IT here, you've definitely Atera had to set these up. You want to talk a little bit more about that, and how painful that was in your day-to-day?
Yeah, of course. I think most of us will usually agree that the moment you have to do it manually, you simply don't do it. And here, because of Atera and because the AI we have, it's finally we have a preemptive strike on the printer issues. Because if you ever search for IDs and wanted to do it manually, only the guide, it's most of the manufacturer OIDs on OIDs to get them, it's like crazy. It's like hundreds of pages going through manually and trying to set it up, and it's an awful job. And usually you just pass it. You just say there's no need for it. But here it takes a minute, and it's really, really useful. And it's finally make active monitoring that actually prompt you with the issues for something simple as printer even. And it's amazing.
Again, Fernando, I'll get to your question in just a second. I saw it come through. But just to show you the second end, right? Once we've created those OIDs, the alerts will then start coming through, while you as technicians can then get that as a push notification on your phone. You can get that as an email or a ticket automatically open directly within Atera. But Fernando, I see that you've asked about ethical and security concerns. So you prompted something that I should have mentioned at the start, but we are partnered, again, as you've seen through the session so far. We're partnered with Microsoft and OpenAI, Azure AD, Azure OpenAI. So we have built out as secure as possible an AI solution. You're not feeding the algorithm. It's multi-tenancy, so all of it is working in only your own instance. And then in terms of ethical concerns, if you want to go into more detail on that, of your concerns there, we can talk through that. And as well, IT professionals in education leveraging the workshop to identify and implement AI tools, that for personalizing learning experience for students with diverse needs. So we'll cover that briefly when we talk about the autopilot. But again, they have the ability to ask the autopilot questions and get answered from your own internal KBs that can then help with that. But we'll touch on that with one of the use cases as well. Cool. So now we're going to jump into the script generator. So if I jump in here, we're going to talk about a couple of the different use cases that we can do. We've built out an AI script generator within Atera that will allow you to instantaneously write out a script. Some of the big values there are, first of all, as a technician who maybe is not so in depth with their script knowledge, it will help you give you a foundation. Also, someone who is a scripter, it will then also allow you to write things much quicker. So let's go to the example and we can talk further about it. And again, I'll leverage Avi's experience to talk through scripting for Atera AI and after. But we're going to go to this specific example where we're going to then go to the AI script generator. We've now typed in to create a local admin user. Again, let's say a user is locked out. This will allow me to instantaneously write that script and then put that in, and run that directly within PowerShell. You can also run that directly within Atera as well. But again, depending on what your workflows are, those would be, useful on both ends. So, Avi, do you want to talk through, your scripting experience and how that has changed with using Atera AI?
Of course. So usually scripting is like essential in IT. In the IT world, I think all of you will agree with me. Scripting is the tool that we all go to when the GUI or one of the tools doesn't have the answer. So it's the most pragmatic tool we can use. It's the most common when you don't have any specific tool for it. And a lot of the time it's hard. It's either, Moshe said, if you have a little experience, also with no experience, you can use it. If you have a help desk or tier 1 level IT professional that doesn't know how to script, you can use it. It unlocks not just the potential of the system, it unlocks also the potential of the team. And you can do a lot of things. It can be specific for a device or for bulk operations. And you see, it's just not. Here in the example we showed, we went to the PowerShell generator and run it through that. No, we can do it directly via Atera. I took the screenshots and I do it to PowerShell only to test the script. So it's important to say it's important. You'll see in the next case, you'll see why I'm going to the PowerShell to check it. But scripting is the most powerful tool, I think, in the system. It's whatever you need Atera to do, scripting will allow you to do it. And that's very important to say. You can take a permission. In the educational world, we can see permission is a lot of the time an issue. So permission on the local station, permissions for specific stuff. You want to delete an app, you want to install an app and you don't have it in your repository. You want to, you want to add another user or revoke a user permissions. You want to uninstall, someone downloaded, an app you don't want and you want to uninstall it and you don't have a direct command for it. So just write a script. That's the idea. You always can write a script for most things in the IT world. And that's the power of it.
Yeah, and another example, right? Avi, who's a big gamer, right? So you definitely don't want your students having, let's say Steam or a gaming app on their computer. So again, what you could do with the script generator is have an install script that you can attach directly to a alert. So if you set up an alert to say check it to see what is installed, you can then have that script automatically run. So another example, and Avi, thank you for that. We'll definitely leverage you for this part as well. But this is about using the script generator to actually check your work and make sure that everything is working smoothly. So I'm going to play the video here. You can see we're now going to build out a script to install Slack for Windows. We've created that script. We're now going to take it and test it within PowerShell itself. But unfortunately, we've now gotten this error. So what you can now do is take that error, put it back into the script generator underneath the original one. The AI will now fix that script to work in the way that it needs. And you'll see here, as he pastes it back in, it's now successful. So, huge additional value there, right? It's not only for people who don't know how to script, but it's also for, proofing, checking, and perfecting those scripts. And again, adding an additional user, changing something in the local or Active Directory. This will help in getting that up to speed. And again, upskilling your technicians and ultimately making them, making their lives much easier and faster.
Yeah.
Have anything else you want to add there in terms of the proofing?
Yes, and more important, it's in full context. Like if you went to JetGPT, the general JetGPT, the one that's open to the public, it won't be like an easy two-step proofing. It won't know which script, which language, what the device. Here, because it's a full context of devices, it's full context of your environment. So the proofing is a lot easier. Like we said, you write a prompt, you don't need any familiarity with writing scripts or stuff like that. You write a prompt, you take it, you test it in PowerShell. That's why I said it. You don't have to test it in PowerShell. You can run it completely via Terra. But the PowerShell is easier for me to prove. That's why all the examples I run in PowerShell. You take it, you prove it, and it's like easy. It's two-step. It's like it made the operation a two-step streamlined procedure, and it's easy and fast.
Amazing. And yeah, so for Avi, right, who's a scripter, it's great. For me, who has no previous scripting knowledge, makes me feel like a superhero on my demos and talking to customers where, I can say, oh, great, let's cool down this laptop. And I can write that script in, literally under 2 seconds. Cool. Then the next piece we're going to talk about is our Copilot. We're going to highlight it across a couple of different sections of the Atera platform. So it exists, not only on the device page, but it travels across the board with you. It's kind of your additional AI assistant on the technician side. So the first one we're going to talk about here is on the device side. Again, it is a unified single helper for you guys. But again, we'll let the use case talk for itself here. So you'll see here, if I'm on the device tab within Atera and I click the Copilot button, you'll see 4 different prompts that are offered. But again, what you can do is actually talk to the device itself, as opposed to having to leverage those students and teachers and professors who maybe are busy in their day-to-day. So again, you don't have to disturb your ultimate end user. But what this has done is I've asked it to help me make the device more secure. It's now giving me a couple of, it's giving me a response of what to do. And ultimately, from that response, it's now going to actually give me the action. So our Copilot today knows currently the top 80 and always adding onto it tier 1 tech issues. So you'll see here, it's asking me to install the latest Chrome updates. It's now sent that request directly to the device, and then we'll run that action silently for the end user directly to their device. So again, additional value, you have this little personal assistant on the side, help you get through these issues in a much easier way. And especially for a smaller team, typically that is in education, right? Those end users can't come to you for all these issues. So whether this is a server that's acting up or an actual end user's device, this will allow you to get those issues much quicker and easier. Avi, I will let you talk through the next one, which is going to be the Copilot on the alerting side. So let's let the video play first, and then we can.
Okay, let's play the video, and I'll explain what we're seeing. What we did here, we set a threshold for CPU load, or for disk space, or for IDs for the SMNPs that we set up. So we see an active. We changed the monitoring on all devices to active monitoring, meaning that we actually get the alert from the device, and then we can use the Copilot to actively fix the issues as they arise, and then we have a complete active monitoring ability. Like for server, you have a server with a CPU load that you need to restart, instead of going to tools like PRTG or something like that monitor passively and just tell you, okay, the CPU doesn't ping anymore or something like that. You can you get notification to the Atera. You get a solution via the Atera. The Copilot will ask you for actions to do, if it's possible. If it's not, if it's a hardware failure, we'll tell you, okay, it will do health checks, and we'll tell you, okay, you need to go physically to the server and do stuff. But it gives you a whole-in-one solution, active monitoring in a different level from a lot of the tools we have right now. Also, we can connect it to the device Copilot. The device Copilot is very user initiated. It's for one devices. Here, it's from the device side. The device alerts you, okay, I have an issue, please help. And that's the power for the alerts.
Especially what it's going to do. Sorry, but it's going to give you that instant health check there, right? It's going to ping the device in real time and give you, what's needed. So again, you don't have to remote in, which again, classic situation. A teacher needs something urgently, their computer's not working well. You can skip that, leave the end user alone, and as a technician, be able to handle, get a pulse check from that device, again, in real time, directly here within the Copilot. Cool. So going from here, we're now going to go to the Autopilot, where we'll talk about the software installation. Specifically, again, this is a sneak peek. And I know there's a question in the chat of how to help students out, with diverse needs. So this is just one quick example of how we can do it. But again, the Autopilot is a whole different animal. Again, as opposed to being technician centric, this is going to sit with the end user directly on their computer as a widget within the system tray icon. But we'll just show one quick example here of how it can actually push out software. So I'm going to click play. In this specific example, you'll see that there is a meeting coming up, and you can see that it's happening through WebEx. But maybe your professor who's jumping on this meeting doesn't have WebEx installed in their computer. So when they click join meeting, what the AI assistant is going to do is it's going to run an instantaneous check in the backend, see that WebEx is missing, and then prompt the end user to actually install WebEx. So you can see that's going to open up the AI assistant now, the Autopilot. This is now going to ask the end user, do you want us to install it? They'll simply click that button there, and that would then install the software directly through the agent. So again, even if the student or the teacher doesn't have permissions there to install it, and again, this can be WebEx, this can be Zoom, this can be any other application that is needed. This would then help make sure that they don't have any downtime. And again, they don't have to, come to you guys as a technicians in the last second, try and get a hold of you and disturb your day-to-day as well. Awesome. Just also to cover the Copilot when it comes to ticket summaries. Again, we covered the Copilot when it came to the devices and the alerts. Now we have it more on the help desk side of things. So we're going to go into this example. And you can see on the ticketing page as well, first of all, you see the little Copilot icon on the side, but we also have it here on each ticket. You can simply click that button. What that's going to then do is actually summarize the ticket for you, generate a potential response. And again, it's working in real time here, right? This is the actual time that it does take. It'll then generate the potential response and ultimately generate potential action. So in this case, they want to reset the Azure AD password. We can simply click on that button and it's totally integrated as long as you integrate Azure AD into Atera directly into, into the Copilot here as well. So again, cutting down the time, making sure that your technicians don't have to jump in and out, to help reset those passwords. And for your students who might need to get into a test, or for your teachers or professors who need to, teach their class, lets them continue on their day-to-day without any issues. So, Avi, I know that you deal with a lot of tickets from your side. How have you used the, the Copilot on the ticketing side? How have you seen that in your day-to-day?
We use it a lot, actually. We use it to not just to summarize the tickets. It also provide us with answers. Sometimes, I have the tier one team that needs. They're new to the IT world. They have a lot of questions. You need to initiate them, and actually the Copilot is teaching them answers, like you see in further examples, how you can take KBs and make them part of your the insider AI knowledge. And actually, the Copilot is more than just a tool to have the end user, the Autopilot. The Autopilot and Copilot for Ticket Summarize. It helps the IT team, the new guys, in understanding the IT procedures. It knows how do we work. So it actually saves us a lot of time in all our tier 1, tier 2 issues.
Amazing. And the Copilot doesn't only help when it comes to the tickets. It can also help with training your staff. So the Copilot can actually answer questions on Atera itself, or any other knowledge base articles that you put in there. So any organizational questions or any other questions of how do I set up a new automation role within Atera on the ticketing side, it can then answer that and lead to the KB as well. So one other example we have here is when it comes to ticketing with the ability to automatically create knowledge base articles out of the ticket resolutions. So I'll play the video and I'll talk about how powerful this is. This is actually one of our newer AI features that was recently released. But in this case, we could see Austin Reeves from the Los Angeles Lakers has opened up a ticket with a problem with his computer. We've now gotten it solved, so we're going to send that to resolve. We now have the ability to click here on the generate article. And then you'll see here a couple of turns of the Atera logo. This is then going to automatically create the knowledge base article here. You'll see again, takes about 8 turns, typically depending on my Wi-Fi speed. But we're going to put it in the section that it has to be in, the priority. We can then add in keywords that will make it even easier for your technicians to find it. And then ultimately create it, now available for your technicians. And you can also use this for your students and teachers as well. So through our customer portal, you do have the ability to have a public-facing knowledge base. So any of these tickets that get solved, let's say they wanted to have a more, self-help kind of way. First of all, the AI assistant can then answer questions based off those KB articles, as well as the, through the customer portal itself on the internet.
Yeah, it's also great for other departments. It's great for like if you want in the educational world, you want the students and teachers to have data available and not just go to write articles. Like, what is the how do you take time off in this college or school? How do you take what is the VPN rules? How do you access these assets? And you simply have a bot that will answer them. You have a full AI that you can train with your specific answers and not just generic answer he has from his database. So you can train it to your specific answers, your specific IPs, your specific authorized software, your specific everything. And that's the greatness of this tool. You take the KBs and you train the AI to say whatever you want to say, the correct answer for you and not for something generic like we all know.
Yeah, and again, it's constantly learning, constantly taking from what you've put into it. So again, it'll give that amazing experience and real-time help for your students and teachers 24/7, even if there's not a tech on call. So I had mentioned this use case before, but I'll now show you the video on it for internal KBs. So we have here with our Atera KB, but again, you can train it with your own as well. So in this case, how do I change the ticket priority, based on customer rank? I'll then ask that question. Oh, sorry. We're going to see that again. How can we change ticket priority based on customer rank? It's now going to generate the response and actually link out to that knowledge base article. So when I click on that, it's now going to lead me out to the Atera page, where that article was originally posted. So super powerful. And again, for Atera information, making sure you're utilizing the system in the best way. Or again, any sort of internal KBs you have will be the same thing. I'll be able to answer those questions as well.
Well, we talked about it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, we talked about this one already.
Yeah,
again, awesome. Avi, before we go into Q&A here, any other kind of points or tips you want to bring up?
You can use the AI in a very dynamic way. You can use it it's always in full context, in full context of your system, of your endpoints, of your devices. If you have servers, if you have printers, if you have a NAS sitting in your server room and you want to monitor it, so you can use it very specifically in your context, and it's very important to understand. It's because it changes the interaction with AI, because ChatGPT is very generic. You need specific prompts. You need very specific words to use to make it work in your organization. And here it's out of the box, fits to your organization. In the educational world, you can use the Copilot to remove hazardous software specific from a station, and the script generator to do a bulk operation. It's only to find the right angle for you inside the system, and I think it's a great tool to manage a bulk of people.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
I'm ready to
So, sorry, Avi. So yeah, those are the main use cases we want to talk about. Feel free in the Q&A if you want to ask any other questions, because again, this is just a sneak peek of what the AI can do. It's, like Avi mentioned, super dynamic. It will kind of mold and work with your flow as it goes along. So I see Hudson asked here, what are the benefits of prompting command line scripts through Copilot? So I'll let Avi talk deeper into that, and then I can give my sales answer, but I'll let him talk the tech answer.
The tech answer for the KBZ. I talked about it a little bit. It's what we do is we take the entire information of the organization. I'll give example for us. We took the HR, sales, CS, whatever. We took all the information that we want the employees to have, and we simply upload it to Atera, and we're leveraging it by saving a lot of time, because no one will go through a legal document of 15 pages and read it all for like a simple answer. How do I take my time off, or how do I do that, or stuff like that? And dynamically we just ask it. It's a very easy process. You simply upload it to Atera. You have an upload button, copy paste, and that's it. And the AI will know it from now on. And you saved a lot of time for someone via the chat.
Yeah. And Hudson, just talk about more on the command line side. So first of all, it's your own private network, right? It's multi-tenancy, so nothing is being shared. You're not feeding the algorithm. And again, you're running those command line prompts through the Copilot. It's all in one system, right? It's a full ecosystem. So anything that you create, you can actually run directly. In our example, we showed you how to run it externally, but you can also run it internally on those devices. So with a click of a button, you can actually access that device command line or PowerShell, and then run it directly on the device through Atera, kind of a one-stop shop.
Also, we didn't show an example for the command line here, but the command line here is great tool for new employees, new IT employees, because who knows the command for with all the parameters for to search files larger than 100 megabytes. You have a lot of differentiations and a lot of parameters you need to put. And they simply need to ask, in our example in Atera, they simply ask, find me files larger than 100 megabytes. He will auto-generate them the command with all parameters needed, and just press enter, and it's done. So that's not just in the script generator, also in the terminal, the command line, either via the Copilot for the device itself, or if you go inside and you go to the command line from the terminal.
Cool. Any other questions from the audience here? Anything else that we can go into more depth on? I'll take that as a no. Again, I appreciate all of your guys' time today for joining us. We would love to speak further on it. You can feel free to reach out to either your customer success manager on the customer side, anybody on looking to get a demo or get started with Atera can reach out to the sales team as well, and we'll get you started on a customized demo as well as a 30-day free trial. Any other questions, feel free to add me on LinkedIn. I think my profile is in my profile here. So we really appreciate all your time today. Any other questions, let us know, but we really do appreciate it.